Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the new Sunshine Cup, and we're going to have a very interesting team here with a few more Pokemon that you don't really see too often. One of them going to be Magcargo, the main Pokemon. I want to take a look at it today. And also I'm going to be now back from a vacation. You saw still a lot of videos coming up the last few days. This was all pre-produced. I was away for now 8 days. Did one video for Cleaver while I was out, which didn't really work too well. I still have to figure out why this is the case. I literally bought the PC for that and it still didn't really work out that well for the audio. Don't know why. Still might have to figure that one out. But otherwise, there was like nothing I really did for YouTube for the last 8 days. So it's a little bit difficult for me to come back into commentating again. Especially as I literally just got home and I'm a little bit tired. So yeah, still might be a little bit awkward for commentating today. Still, hopefully you're going to enjoy this video here because we're going to have LSD, one of the coolest core breakers, or like in general Pokemon for this meta right now. Magcargo, completely underrated. This Pokemon is insane, as you're going to see here, especially this Galarian Stunfisk is going to see here, as it's going to get completely incinerated. This Pokemon itself is amazing in the current meta, as you're going to have basically on every team Noctowl or the Pidgeot. Both of them don't really enjoy being up against a Rock-type Pokemon. And there are not a lot of Rock-type Pokemon available for this cup, so this Pokemon gives you a lot of potential to sweep endgame, especially having access to Nuke move as well. With the Overheat as well as a very decent charge move with the Rock Tomb, which can debuff the opponent's defense, attack. Not defense, the attack. So yeah, this Pokemon has basically a lot of potential to both do offensive as well as defensive work here. As you're going to see the opponent going for an Earthquake here, going to knock us out. This is fine. We have our Vigoroth as well on our team. Vigoroth basically does not have a hard counter at all in this current meta. There are a few ghost types which can be a little tricky, like a Trevenant, which is not something that you want to really play because of course you're going to have both the Noctowl as well as the Pidgeot, so you don't really want to run something like a tree that is both the ghost typing as well as the grass typing. So yeah, this is definitely something that Vigoroth really enjoys here. This Pokemon is the freest Pokemon to use in the current cup, but tomorrow's team are not going to include it. Tomorrow's team not going to include anything or like a Noctowl either. I still had quite a bit of lag. Like I haven't really played Go Battle League for 8 days now as well. I have maybe played in total maybe 6 or 7 sets, which I've never really done before. I actually always did my sets even if I was on vacation or whatever. I still did all my sets. Maybe I forfeited them, but this time around I actually just didn't do anything. And it was kind of nice, to be fair. Like taking a break from Go Battle League after basically doing it for since it's out like for 20,000+ battles in a row. Honestly, it was really nice. I'm actually kind of excited to play it again. I'm actually really excited for the new season as well. If and hopefully we will be able to get some new move changes. It's going to be a very fun one as well. So be excited for this one as well. If you are, please leave a like on the video. Would appreciate it. As we're now going to be going into the crunch time for the season. Not going to be away again. So if you want some coaching, there's a link in the description for that one as well. For the final push, it might be interesting if you still haven't hit Legend, of course, and you like kind of want to hit Legend. That might be something for you to consider as well. But otherwise, yeah, we're going to have here the Magcargo farming on the Vigoroth, having a great time here in general. I cut out some wins, I cut out some losses. I actually played for 13 games. I think I went 10-3, so definitely a really good team to use. I'm a little bit in the lower elo range still. I saw people complaining that I tanked or whatever. Like for me, before I went on to vacation or whatever, I also didn't have time because I had to prepare all the videos which I already recorded before. So I just forfeited all my battles because I just didn't have the time to do them. And I rather take the starters than the rating. I didn't want to drop too low, so that's why I didn't do this while I was on vacation. But I still like now somewhere 2600 elo again, which is really nice because this team, the next team that I'm going to showcase, worked out so well again. So definitely check also out tomorrow's video, which hopefully going to be live in the normal time as well if I wake up in time. But yeah, honestly, very cool teams coming up here. Both are very creative, both also both feature Magcargo, and Tomorrow's team also going to be featuring Magcargo. Very strong Pokemon right now in the meta, or very underrated. I haven't seen anybody else using this Pokemon right now, and I really hope that we can shift it towards a Magcargo meta, because it is meta. It is so strong, especially as a close in the current meta right now. It is just a fun Pokemon to use. Here we're going to see the Abomasnow. Gonna go ahead, go for an Energy Ball. We don't really care too much about it. We're just going to go for the full farm down. My opponent decides to go for another charge move, but of course, even this Energy Ball is not even coming close to knocking us out, and we will be able to farm all the way down here and win this game. Next opponent, Dunsparce in the lead. This can be a little bit tricky. Dunsparce is actually a Pokemon I kind of want to take a look at as well, but I have to see, of course, what's going to happen here in the near future. We're going to see here the our opponent going to their own Gliscor. We can go for our Night Slashes here. Gliscor is a little bit tricky for this team to deal with. There's nothing really that can deal with it well. I try to go for another charge move here. I'm going to shield this move up here because I'm going to get my shield back anyway, or I'm gonna get the switch advantage here. But here I'm going to get the basically my shield back. I can let this move go through, and I should be able to go ahead and go into my Magcargo and get some energy here. This should only be the Night Slash, and it will be only the Night Slash, so it's going to be a very decent one for us. But sadly, they have the best Pokemon for them in the back, which is going to be the Golurk. But actually, I think if I went ahead and went for the bait first, I would have been able to win this game here. But it's like this, the Golurk going to do a ton of damage here still with the fast moves. I'm still going to go ahead and go into the Dunsparce, which will seal the deal here. I think I'm pretty sure I would have been able to win this game if I went for the bait with my Magcargo first, which would have allowed the opponent not to do as much damage against my Vigoroth here, which is going to going to come in handy for the opponent here, as they're going to be able to farm me all the way down. I had to go for the Bulldoze, it didn't work out, and that's going to be it for this one. Very interesting there. But of course, our backline just struggles hard against the Golurk. Of course, Aldi is an amazing counter for this Pokemon, so usually it wouldn't be really an issue, but here, this time around, it kinda is. Let's take a look at the next one here. We're going to see the opponent having the Miltank here. Very interesting Pokemon as well. Having the Tackle version of this Pokemon is definitely the way to go in the current meta. Tackle going to allow you to have some pretty decent damage coming in from your fast move alone. Stab Tackle is a water gun clone as well. So you're just going to do like one turn damage, one fast move. One turn fast moves in general will do so much damage in the Great League. So it's a very great fast move to use right now on Miltank. As you're going to see the Victini here as well against us, we can go ahead and go for Gliscor again, which will be able to reach some Night Slashes here, of course, which will do enough damage to knock out the opponent's Victini if they want to let this move go through. But they don't want to let this move go through, and I am going to be forced to shield this move up now. It's going to be, never mind, it's going to be the Electrode. This is not something I can shield up. But what I can let this do here, I can let this move go through here. It's going to be the Energy Ball, going to do some decent damage, but we can go for our Rock Tomb here. And the opponent Victini has literally zero chance here, going to get knocked out, and our Magcargo again sweeping endgame. This team struggles. This team struggles with Swampert. This is the only Pokemon it really struggles with, because it's both going to be able to beat our lead as well as our Pokemon in the back. This is basically the only Pokemon that's allowed really that has those kind of benefits, I guess, in this meta right now. But we're still going to have our Vigoroth here to take one charge move and hopefully knock them out with another counter tower and some more body stems here. And we're going to be able to hit this body stem as well, putting them into range where I can knock them out late game. And I can go ahead and go for another body stem against the opponent's own Vigoroth. Vigoroth has now a ton of energy, so I'm forced to go ahead and go into my Gliscor. One Bulldoze most likely going to be able to completely send my little snail boy here into the oblivion. So we're going to go ahead and go for a Night Slash here. This Night Slash is going to be able to knock out the opponent's Vigoroth, and we're going to see the Obstagoon in the back. This is not going to look pretty here. So you're going to be forced to shield up the next charge move from the opponent. They're sadly going to snipe me with the Swampert, and yeah, honestly, there was no lot that I can do here. Swampert double counter makes Magcargo basically completely useless, makes the saves up there of our Vigoroth also kind of awkward, and also of course Aldi gets completely hard-rolled by the Swampert. We're going to see a very decent lead for us, and we're going to see the Pidgeot coming in. Was very late on the swap, which kind of hurts us here because they don't get to the charge move in time. They will be able to go for the Feather Dance here, but you don't have to shield anything from a Pidgeot. Pidgeot does not really have any pressure for you. It's kind of difficult for the Noctowl, though Noctowl can be a little bit tricky, as the Shadow Ball going to do some decent damage. But against those birds, usually you can just go straight for the Rock Tomb and farm them down afterwards. Like, go straight forward. Don't even really look at your turns or whatever and try to do like the perfect alignment or some stuff. Just go ahead, go for the debuff, and you're going to be having a great time against the bird Pokemon. Here against the Vigoroth, we're going to have also a pretty decent time here, so you can go for another Night Slash as well, which will be able to force a shield from the opponent and gets us the boost as well. And of course, if we have the boost here, we're going to have to use this one as well, so we're going to be able to now knock out the opponent. I don't think they're going to shield this move up here, and they do not, and we're going to see now the Moltres coming in. We are basically getting to another charge move here, as we are double boosted. They are forced to shield this move up, and we can swap out into our Vigoroth, and we will be able to now go ahead and go for another charge move, and this charge move is going to knock out the opponent here, winning us the game. Next opponent, we're going to see a Noctowl in the lead, and we're going to swap out immediately into our Vigoroth. Let's basically how you play this. If you have a neutral lead, you're going to go into a Vigoroth, because Vigoroth is going to be able to basically beat anything in this kind of meta, because it's just so free. So here we're going to see the Noctowl coming in, we're going to see the opponent's Vigoroth coming in, and as you're going to get the Vigoroth out from the opponent, it's going to be very nice, because now the counter user is eliminated for the other Pokemon in the back there, which is going to help out quite a bit for it. As here we're going to see the Gliscor coming back in here, going to take this Body Slam from the opponent and can go for a Night Slash to retaliate. Don't think it's going to knock them out straight away, but I can swap out into my good old Magcargo. We'll be able to take the Body Slam from them coming in here, which will not do a lot of damage. And we're going to see the double coming in now as well. We're going to be able to go for the Rock Tomb here, having to get a bait Kynat, so we can get some shields from the opponent here. We're going to get the final shield with us, hopefully here. Let's take a look at this, and we're going to get the final shield. Overheat coming through here, going to do enough damage to knock out the opponent's little sheep boy goodbye there, and we're going to see now the Noctowl in the back. And as you're going to be able to now go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball from the opponent here, we're still going to be able to go for Night Slash here. Is this enough to knock out the opponent though? Is enough damage here to win this game? It is just barely not. If we were to, like, I don't know, like, just like a little bit more damage there, and I would have been able to win this game here, but sadly this is not going to happen here, and we're going to have to go into the next game. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to see the Noctowl swapping in. Of course, this is something that you're going to encounter quite a bit, and because nobody expects you to have yourself a Magcargo, Magcargo will take advantage of this, and Magcargo kind of wants to go for the Rock Tomb as soon as possible, because actually the opponent can flip this matchup if you don't shield, because the Shadow Ball actually does a ton of damage here. As you're going to see here as well, we're going to be very, very low, and we have to farm them all the way down here. And in comes now the opponent with one Vigoroth. We're gonna go straight for the debuffing move here, because we're going to get something very nice anyway, either the debuff on the opponent's attack or the shield, which we got here right now. We're going to see now the opponent swapping into a Pokemon, and we don't see it. So this is going to be like apparently at least a bug that now happened since I was gone. Basically, didn't happen before. But also what I kind of find even more interesting is now that we don't see when we can swap out our Pokemon again, as you see on the right side. But also take a look at Night Slash. As you're going to see me here letting this move go through, as it's going to be a Feather Dance. We see that Night Slash is just a white for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why, but very nice Niantic, great stuff there. You're going to see as well now that the Earthquake is also white for whatever reason, and we can still go for it. It's still going to do some decent damage. It's not going to hurt us otherwise, but it's still going to be a little bit funny here, but we're going to be able to win this game pretty easily here. I can shield up once, but the opponent has literally zero play of us, of winning this game here. We are just always going to be able to knock them out in time and win this one here. Next opponent, we're going to see a Noctowl. We're going to swap out immediately into our Vigoroth, of course, trying to win back switch advantage here. As actually Vigoroth should be able to do this in the two-shot scenario against the opponent's Noctowl, but I don't think I'm going to go that way anyway, as we're going to be able to go ahead and see the Obstagoon coming in, and that's going to do a ton of damage against the opponent, and I'm all for it, as we're going to see here right now. We will put them into a farm down range for wing attack from our Gliscor, which will come in handy quite a bit, I feel like, as you're going to be able to now go ahead and get all the energy. We see the Magcargo coming in here again against the opponent's Noctowl, and this is going to get us to the rock type move, going to get the shield from the opponent, not the final shield. They still have one left. We will be able to like let this move, actually going to shield this move up as well. Don't know for sure, but I don't think it really does matter here, to be fair. We will see here now the Shadow Ball coming through. We're going to do some decent damage, and we're going to see Munchlax coming in now. Munchlax will not appreciate the Rock Tomb debuff, because they're stuck into this matchup right now. And yeah, like they're going to have to deal with this debuff for quite a long time, allowing us to debuff them again. Going at the shield from the opponent here, and I will be able to go for the play with my Gliscor. Going for the Nightshade, going to be able to get them pretty low. Not knocking them out yet straight though. As you see the body slam coming through, we're going to see another one coming through here as well, which is kind of wild. And yeah, we're going to see now the Noctowl going to farm us down, Makar going to be able to farm down the opponent, and we will see the Munchlax going to go down for one Rock Tomb. So yeah, this Pokemon itself is just so nice. We're going to be able to go into the final game now for this video, as we're going to see the Galarian Stunfisk in the lead. Let's take a look at what we can do here. We're going to be able to see the opponent swapping into the Pidgeot, which actually runs Gust here. Alternative moveset, Gust is also not a bad one, but for this occasion I'm a Rock Boy, and I am not really caring too much about this little breathe. As we're going to see the Feather Dance coming through, we're going to get the full farm down from the opponent here, as well as we're going to see that Galarian Stunfisk coming in. We can go for the Overheat here again. It's going to do some decent damage if it lands, and it does land, as we're going to be able to see now that the opponent going to be a little bit tricky here, going to go for the Rock Slide, going to knock us out, but we still have 2 Pokemon left here as well. Gliscor will go down against the Talonflame, and here it's really important to have the best move timing as well. You just kind of want to always throw like basically 2 fast moves in after they throw their own Incinerate right now, because it will allow you to not allow the opponent basically to be free there. We're going to see the shield coming up from the opponent as well, so we have a shield advantage here from our standpoint, but they're going to have an energy advantage, which is going to basically reduce the shield advantage to 0 here as well. But we will be able to go for another body slam, gonna get them low, and as expected, they're going to get rid of the final shield here as well. Brave Bird is coming through. We will be able to farm down the Galarian Stunfisk as well. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Now I'm a little bit sleepy, so I'm sorry if the commentary wasn't perfectly fine there, but I literally just came back like a few hours ago, so I think it's understandable. Hoping starting from tomorrow everything going to be as normal again, and I'm also going to do shorts again. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and I'll see you on the next one.